Hello, welcome. My name is Jürgen Butzmann. I'm part of Solution Management for SAP S/4HANA, and I'm happy to present today something about one of our latest technologies being implemented in our SAP S/4HANA solution, and that's acceleration of intercompany reconciliation processes with machine learning. We are also covering some aspects which are not yet part of the solution, therefore we have to show the legal disclaimer, nothing to worry from your end. So what is it that we're starting? We're starting with a small introduction into the topic itself. What is it about? What is the business process that we have? Then you learn some more details about the solution itself, and a demo is certainly more worth than 1,000 slides. So let's have a look into one of those demos. Then we sum up with some additional facts and also a summary and some value propositions. So stay tuned. You probably know very well this picture, and it's about our vision of the intelligent enterprise. And talking about the intelligent enterprise, certainly a lot of our customers already have that. We really are concentrating on the intelligent ERP. So what is it? It's part of the intelligence suite. And as you can see here, our SAP S/4HANA system is in the core of this intelligence suite. So our intelligent ERP is what we want to achieve. Certainly our customers are already on a certain level, but we of course want to bring it further. Now, how do we facilitate this? Certainly by adding also technologies. And therefore we are using the SAP Business Technology Platform, which you can see on the lower end, including several aspects, starting from database and data manage over to several others, to the intelligent technologies as such. So we're using multiple technologies to support and enable this. And here machine learning is clearly on the edge of these technologies to get to the intelligent ERP system. How this is used in one of our solutions, you will see in the upcoming slides. What is it all about? When we talk about intercompany reconciliation, we talk about a process which is as common as unliked in many organizations. Why is this the case? It's a lot of data that you have to go through. There's a high volume of those items that have to be matched. And there's a complexity of reasons why this is not so easy to combine those documents. Some of them have just simply different currencies, or some have split up documents into several, whereas they are kept in one on one end. But we also have even more tricky cases where we are missing documents, or where we do not have common fields how to match those documents together. So in order to solve this, we have actually started with a solution, which is our intercompany and matching capability that is already part of our SAP S/4HANA solution. It just gets us to a certain level. So as we see later on, not all of the matching cases can easily be solved by rule-based matching of fields and of matching of documents. Now, what is our solution doing? It is using the historical data of our intercompany matching and reconciliation capability, and it's extending it with a machine learning algorithm, a service that is run on the Business Technology Platform to match the rest. And we are using this historical data, so all of the data that got already created in the past, as training data to facilitate this step. How do we do this in the solution? So on the one hand side, we are gathering all the data coming from the different subsidiaries. If everything would be in our SAP S/4HANA system, we would not need the reconciliation. But in our case, and in many, many other cases, this is still something that is lying in other legacy systems in the different subsidiaries. So by multiple ways, we can bring this data into the SAP S/4HANA Cloud System, run a rule-based matching run, and this would then lead to a certain number of documents, something about 10 to 15%, which we cannot match through this regular case. From there, can launch the intelligent intercompany reconciliation service on the BTP without recognizing that you're running to a different system. We return the matching proposals and then continue in the processing within SAP S/4HANA Cloud, and then close it up and can do the group reporting process from there. You will see later on in the details how this process is actually facilitated and how the different protagonists are working together. Where does the data actually get created? Where are we running the reconciliation processes? You also see that we have two aspects here. So we have the matching in the first place, so that we have the intercompany reconciliation matching. But what we have not yet automated, but we still are thinking into, since our future direction, not yet on the roadmap, is that we also want to look for the reason code and also map this in here. Today, this still has to be done manually, so that's something that we are moving on coming forward. One little word before we go to the demo is, now what is the difference really between what you can do in rule-based? It's certainly where you have a matching object, where you are running on commonality of data. When you do not have any field commonality, you of course are relying on other capabilities, and here machine learning can do a very good task. With that, I'll hand you over to the demo. Have fun, and I'll be back.
The intelligent intercompany reconciliation comes with the machine learning capability to further match the items that remain unassigned after the rule-based matching. Let's start as a reconciliation accountant who matches intercompany documents on a daily basis. As a reconciliation accountant, you open the Reconciliation Status Overview to check the reconciliation status of your companies. The matching status for Company 1010 is initial. It means the document matching has not been executed. You can then navigate to the balance details to check for any amount differences. The detail screen shows there's a total difference of $233.44 between Company 1010 and 1710. So you navigate to the Manage Assignments app to check for more details regarding the difference. There are too many items that haven't been reconciled yet, which makes it hard to spot the source of the difference. By choosing the button Auto Match with Machine Learning, the system matches and reconciles the items automatically. This should make it easier to identify where the difference comes from. A matching job is launched. The system first runs the rule-based matching and then sends the remaining unassigned items to the AI service for further matching. Let's look into the details of the intelligent processing in the next chapter. The intelligent processing is executed when unmatched items either have hidden information or cannot be processed using manually defined rules, like text and some descriptive fields. The unassigned items shown in the two tables above will initially be matched based on rules. Then, the remaining unassigned items will be sent to the ICR service for machine learning inference. The ICR service uses SAP AI technology and runs on the SAP Business Technology platform. It infers the matching result from the model, which is trained with the company's historic intercompany match data. After the inference is completed, the result is sent back and displayed in the Manage Assignments app, where the end users just need to click a button to let the magic happen. The entire intelligent process can be monitored in the Machine Learning Monitor. You can check the training and inference status. When the status turns to Result Received, you can check the inference result in the Manage Assignments app. As an end user, you usually don't need to check the status in the monitor. You simply click on the Check Results button, and once the inference is completed, the result is displayed in the table below. Matched items are grouped into assignments. The assignments at the top of the list are generated by machine learning, while the other assignments are generated by the predefined rules. Let's select a machine learning generated assignment to check its details. You can see that the machine learning gave a confidence ratio of 87.9%. This is probably due to the similar line item descriptions and the matching amounts. With the differences being identified and adjusted during the period, at the period end close, both the reconciliation accountant and manager would be pleased to see everything reconciled and green. Let's see how the variance adjustment works. There's an assignment generated by Rule 1040. You can see it has a variance of $233.44, which is exactly the difference we saw at the beginning. By clicking Process, you can trigger an auto-adjustment workflow to clear the difference. Now let's switch to the Reconciliation Manager role. The manager receives the approval request in his inbox, where you can approve the amount variance adjustment. As a reconciliation accountant, you can see the workflow is approved and the adjustment posting is performed automatically. So now when checking the Reconciliation Status Overview again, you will find that all intercompany documents of Company 1010 are now assigned. The reconciliation close status is all open. and you can confidently close the reconciliation for all its intracompany transactions. You do this by clicking the All Open status. On the Reconciliation Close Statement page, you can check and compare the details of Company 1010 and 1710. The amounts of both sides are further broken down by reason code for a more in-depth analysis. The overall difference is now 0, meaning there is no difference after the adjustment. Therefore, you can finalize the reconciliation statement and submit the close request for approval. The Reconciliation Manager receives the reconciliation close request in his inbox and approves the reconciliation statement. Now you, as a reconciliation accountant, can see that the reconciliation statement between Company 1010 and 1710 is now approved and closed. Follow-up tasks like consolidation elimination can now be carried out. That concludes our demo of intelligent intercompany reconciliation with machine learning. Thanks for watching.
All right. Thanks for staying with the demo. I hope you had fun. This is now a slide where we also show that this is a regular YouTube video, so you can also look at it as often as you want and get deeper into the topic as well. Here are also a few screenshots that show you about the look and feel that I think make it easier for you to also discuss this with your peers. We'll also have all of the details, how the results would look like. But with that, let's have a look how the solution had actually been deployed in the landscapes. So we started with our SAP S/4HANA Cloud 2108 release to embed this in our ICMR, Intercompany Matching Reconciliation functionality. So it is there, and this is something that you can also use right away since then. We are now starting with our 2021 release, which is our first in our on-premise deployment of SAP S/4HANA. You can also use this as an extension. So this is commercially done through the Cloud Platform Enterprise Agreement, but you can run it in the same way. It's the same functionality, the same service over there. And the nice thing also in our private edition of SAP S/4HANA Cloud, you can use the service, and there it's also included in the intercompany matching reconciliation functionality at no additional cost. How does it get facilitated? Certainly, the first thing is that we need model data. So we need to have data to train the machine learning model, and that's what we are doing by just executing ICMR itself. Here we are producing data, and we need at least 2 quarters and about 10,000 plus line items of historical data to train then the machine learning service. Once it is trained in step 2, we are getting to the execution, and now we can execute it including the machine learning service. And here we get then to our final stage. In order to make it better, we of course can think about retraining the model and see about also the quality of the data that we are using over there. So what's the value behind this, and what do we learn out of that? First of all, clearly a recommendation is automate everything where it is needed. And here we can have a very good use case where automation is really very good done. Do more and do that earlier. Move to a continuous accounting model, because this is now possible. You can do it as often as you want. Improve the transparency, not only from a analytical point of view. Avoid compliance risk. Some countries also run things against tax evasion and BEPS initiatives. So I think that's a very important task to really confront this with it. Here's some more information, including the YouTube link. We'll have some additional information here in the back. Let me just point on one slide, and that is this one. We also have some other sessions that might be interesting in the same context. And with that, I remain thank you very much for listening to me and to this functionality and the facts about the functionality. Looking forward to seeing you again, and yeah, dig further into this topic. It's really worth it. Thanks a lot, and have a good day. Bye-bye.